guys, welcome to the Gotta Have Miami podcast. Today we're in actually a special little place that a lot of people do not know about in Miami. And during this whole little podcast, you actually are going to hear our city, our vibrant city, making some background noise. So we're in a cool little spot off of South Miami Avenue, very close to Brickell, called Simpson Park. And it's an original hardwood hammock. And we have little trails that go throughout the whole park. And right behind us is a little koi pond. And in typical Miami fashion, you have to hide it because if not, the hawks would eat all the koi. So, and if you're a little bit of a spider phobia,
don't come here.
Yeah,
especially not in the summer.
Exactly, not in the summer. It gets a little bit interesting, but it's a cool little spot. And you can see a lot of the our native hardwood hammock and what we were hundreds of years ago before we developed a little bit more of Miami. And it's kind of a cool spot too, because you can see the actual buildings behind us. If you are in this area, you'll see the buildings. So it's like you're in Brickell, you're on top of the Brickell buildings, but yet it's this little paradise that just kind of hangs out back here.
Plus, it's like neighborhood goals.
Yeah, it is.
It's tucked away in a neighborhood with like $10 million plus dollar houses, and you're like, I want to live here. This would be nice. Yeah,
it's really cool. And the only thing I can tell you is it's only open till 3 o'clock, because after 3 o'clock it gets a little dark in here. So it gets you will encounter nature at its finest.
Wildlife. I wonder what wildlife
exactly.
is
Not
here
just
though.
not wildlife, but wildlife. So that's what's happening. How about our intro?
Well, welcome to the Gotta Have Miami show, where we talk about politics and culture influence real estate, specifically here in Miami. This is episode number 40. This will be our last episode of the year 2022. We're wrapping that up. Today is also a very special day.
Happy birthday to me.
It's Hop's birthday.
So today I turned 61 years old, and I don't feel a day over 78, as I like to say. It's not the years, but it's the miles. And
the miles.
Yes, it's the miles. There's been some miles put on this this body, but we're plugging along.
You're chugging along.
We worked out this morning. We did everything possible, and tonight we're going to have a little bit of just basically barbecue and just kick everything in the. We're going to even do a little pork.
Are you going to use the Traeger?
No, because the Traeger's for sale. It's $600.
You can still use it.
No, I don't want to. So so that's it's the end of the year. It's been a really great 2022 from a real estate standpoint. Obviously, there was a slowdown mid because of all the interest rate spikes, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit further on. But I think at the end of the day, it was actually a really good, strong, positive year from a real estate standpoint. We saw some changes that we knew were coming probably as early as June and July. We started to see the downtrend. And that's one of the things we've talked about this, and we'll continue to harp on it. We see all levels of the real estate market, from the rental side to the startups to the high end. And you can just tell it if you're on the ground. And again, everybody picks statistics and they do all of that good stuff. We're on the ground every day throughout Miami-Dade County, and we can actually see, you can see these things. And we have some bold predictions for you for 2023.
We do have bold predictions. Should we go with our predictions
Let's go with the bold predictions.
I think maybe not next week because the kids are still out of school, but maybe mid-January on the ground you'll feel the pickup. Interest rates are stabilizing. And I think that buyers are going to take that opportunity, because now it feels like it's special.
I think everybody has now consistency, which is really what starts to, in all markets, be it the stock market or, be it the housing market, what you need to do is you kind of need to have a constant. And I think what's happening is in the last 6 months, last 3 months, things have stabilized in a way where there really isn't an expected surprise. We kind of know where the interest rates are going to be. And we've mentioned this before, that if we go to an open house, before there was 100 people, now there's 6, but all 6 of those are buyers.
Are real.
And they're real buyers, and the properties are still going to go off the market, and the properties are still going to be increasing in price. Yes, maybe not 20, 30, 100% like we went, but they're still going to have more of the traditional increments that we've had over the years, 2, 3, 4%, 5%. Metro Rail, there it is, right behind us.
So we are in the city.
Yeah, we are in the city, so we weren't lying to you. And the good part is a plane won't go over us, so that's a nice part because they don't fly over on this side. watch a plane go right over us right now.
I think I might be able to hear one right now.
There you go, and there's a plane. It shouldn't be here. But I think the prediction is that the market will really be a lot more stable. I think it's going to be an actual very, very, very good year. I feel
like it's going how 2022 started off super strong because we're coming off of the most psycho year, 2021, and there was like a downward trend throughout 2022. I think 2023 is going to be very stable. I don't think you'll be able to see numbers and headlines until about March or April.
I agree
just the way things get reported. We're not going to know how quarter 1 does till we're in quarter 2. I mean,
But it's interesting traditionally. So I've been doing this a long, long time, and our Januaries are actually, you're kind of recouping. You're starting to get back into it. And actually, our January this year is going to be pretty active. And our December was insane.
I know.
From activity.
We
worked way too much, hence why our podcast kind of like get a little delayed every once in a while. We try to promise you that we're going to do a couple of them, but it gets a little difficult.
It does get difficult, just managing schedules, meeting the client's need. It just takes up time. But yeah, December was definitely busier than I anticipated
For
being.
Sure.
But no complaints here. But I'm excited to see what January brings.
I think January, again, and I can't stress it enough, that I see next year as actually being a very, very good year, going back to more of a traditional real estate market. And again, we can't stress this enough. What happens in the United States does not happen in Miami and does not happen in Miami-Dade County. We still don't have any properties. We still will always lack inventory. So it's always very good for sellers if priced correctly. If they are, again, when you say something that was updated, that doesn't mean that it was updated 20 years ago.
No,
it means it was updated in
last year.
Yeah, in the last couple of years. And I think the other big impact for 2023 is going to be the insurance requirements, and that may spur buyers to start doing a few things that before they were like letting the properties like just basically die out and have deferred maintenance. I see a lot of that deferred maintenance. If you're on the market, if you have deferred maintenance, you're not going to get offers.
Well, I was going to say that I think that seller expectations over the past couple months, they have, reevaluated what to expect from buyers out there in the market. And then to the point of insurance, that'll just bring more sellers up to speed that they need to maintain their properties for resale.
Because if not, you won't get insurance, and the insurance market is going to be extremely difficult in 2023. And we've been talking about this, I don't know, for 8 months.
So sellers, instead of thinking you need to redo a bathroom to sell your house, make sure your essentials are checked off.
Make sure your roof is good.
So your buyers can actually get financing and insured and purchase the home.
Make sure you have your roof in good shape, and make sure you have wind protection. It doesn't have to be impact windows, but make sure that when we go to those insurance policies that those factors are in place. So, and there's our plane.
I told you.
Oh, well, it's not supposed to be here. Oh, well, maybe it is. So Ash also.
I didn't know you work for the FAA.
I know, right?
Too.
Exactly. That brings us back to Mel Reese, but that's for another conversation. You mentioned also about rentals in the rental market. You're seeing something that is kind of interesting and unique as a trend, where the landlords have upped their game, and landlords that haven't upped their game are not upping their game, and they're not getting the game, and they're.
So basically, what Hov's trying to say.
In a roundabout manner.
Is that I am seeing the quality of the rental products in Miami is going up. The quality is better. I'm seeing a lot more, not landlords remodel of painting everything, but actual, quality upgrades to units. And they're still reaching for the prices, but it's much easier to reach for your rent, a high rent, when you have you could justify it. There's this house that I got a tenant in. It's so gorgeous in North Miami. I can't even describe. Like, I was blown away of how beautiful they redid this house. And they are stretching on rent for the neighborhood, but you walk in, you don't even question it because it's that gorgeous. So I'm seeing more of that. So that's hopeful for renters. And that's a message to the landlords out there. You got to invest in your property if you want that monthly return to look good.
And I think that's very important, that as everybody starts to compete to a certain number, then your competition, if you are on this is almost if we're talking about office space. You have Class A, Class B, and C.
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
are trying to compete at an A level, but your product is C, it's just not going to happen.
There's no competition.
There is, and you've got to really be up there, or you price accordingly to a C property.
Correct.
And that's becoming more and more relevant. It's becoming more obvious to us in this market, and it's going to continue through 2023.
And the Great Florida Migration, I don't even want to call it the Miami migration anymore. It's the general Florida migration. Been sitting in a lot of like webinar seminars this month with people all over the state of Florida, and like 90% of them just moved here 3 months ago from there was Boston, California, New York.
We don't want to say they're coming from all those liberal states that have state income taxes, but that's the reason why they're coming. Your state income tax, again, one of our big driving factors is the fact that we do not have state income tax.
Look at what Buffalo's facing right now.
Yeah. We had a cold front though.
I know, but we can't even complain about it. There's people
not at all.
frozen in their cars, you know, like. I know that a hurricane might sound terrifying, but you also know it's coming, you know how to prepare for it, and you can evacuate. So there's a lot of bonuses to Florida, not to toot our horn or anything.
Exactly, there is. And really weather prevailing, even though we had a really cold 24, 25, 23, 20, my Wanavana tree, for you Anglos, sour sap. And it was funny. I'll tell you the story. It was actually happened today. So once you get a cold front come through, sour saps tend to just basically shed all of their leaves. I mean, literally all of their leaves. Yesterday I was piling stuff up higher. And this morning I get a call, 7:30 in the morning, from an ex-tenant who has moved up, and we had given her a Wanavana tree. And she planted it. I thought she was calling me for my birthday. She wasn't.
She was
plus the fact she was calling me at 7:30 in the morning. Plus the fact that 7:30 in the morning I answered the phone. So I answered the phone, hey, you know, and she says, my Wanavana tree basically has no leaves and it's black and it's dying. And I said, no, it's not dying. It's just basically doing its thing. Yeah. So so it was cold for us, but not as cold.
She's calling with Wanavana concerns.
Exactly. So we are full-blown round realtors where we can just basically talk about anything. And if you have a Wanavana plant, we'll help you out.
We'll advise you on care.
We'll advise you out. So that's the beauty of this podcast. This podcast rambles through all sorts of different things, but there is one important thing. We talked about politics.
Yes. So yesterday, our friend
Ken Russell, former commissioner, who claimed that he resigned yesterday and not January 3rd because, the real reason was that if he followed next year, he would then be under a new law that says he couldn't lobby the state or the city or anybody for 6 years. But by resigning in 2022, it's only 2 years. So, so
at least he's strategic. What can we say?
Yeah, that's a real. I give him credit for being strategic, but the gist of it is that the District 2, which is part of Simpson, so District 2 is no longer part. That they don't longer have a commissioner.
They're commissionerless.
So we are signed up as part of the interim. There's 11 candidates out there. The city commission has 10 days to appoint someone or to call for a special election, and they have to give 3-day notice for that meeting. And then from that meeting, they can decide. I think it's probably going to go to special election, and then it will become very interesting because a lot of the 11 that are there probably won't run as part of the city commission race. Yeah. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. The meeting will be sometime in the next week.
So whatever's going to happen to commission 2,
it's going to happen.
It's happening
District
now.
2, it's going to happen.
Rolling.
It's going to happen now, and it's an interim position, so it only goes through. It would go through November of this year. So that's how it's going to roll. So if you want to pass by, come on by. We talk about everything. Enjoy the park. You're welcome. So again, and that's one of the nice things about the park.
It's a real park.
It's a real park. People come by here. So. And you don't have to pay.
You don't have to pay.
No.
I feel like when I came here with the kids in the summer.
Just because you brought kids, you have to pay if you have kids.
For the kids.
So if you have little kids, you have to pay. You must pay just simply because.
We came in the summer and we ran out of here terrified.
You did?
There were spiders, when I tell you, everywhere that we had to duck. And my daughter and I have a severe phobia of spiders for whatever reason, and it was terrifying.
Oh.
So if you want to visit Simpson Park, I recommend coming this time of year.
Yeah, in the fall, winter.
Right. I did see a cute raccoon here once, but it's just a cool place. You're like, how is this in the middle of the city?
I know it is. And it's really hard. It's actually kind of hard to find, except they have a sign out there on South Miami Avenue that'll point you inside.
Yeah, Simpson Park. So check it out.
All right. So, anything else?
No, I think that's what we got for the end of the year. Thank you for everyone who subscribed and listened and shared our show.
Yep.
And
keep asking questions or trying to ask questions. We're going to try to be a lot more active in 2023. Again, I think 2023 is going to be actually a very, very good year in the fact that it'll be a stable market, but it's still going to be a very active market.
Yeah.
It's just, I've been doing this too long to not feel that, and you get a feeling. And again, I don't need statistics to tell me that.
Well, I think it's going to stabilize where in the past 2 years, like 2020 and 2021, buyers have felt taken advantage of, sellers have felt powerful. I think that balance is going to come into play this year. And everybody, I think it's going to turn into a win-win situation for a lot of people, and it'll be good. Yeah,
I think it'll be better. And again, Ashley just mentioned it. We want to thank everybody that follows us and watches the program, but I also want to give special thanks to our vendors, folks that support us, the realtors that work with us and help us do what we do. All of the law firms, the mortgage companies, the inspectors, everyone that works with us, and we do really appreciate all the hard work and everything. And then more importantly, to our clients that trust us in their largest purchase, and it's just, and that continue to call us and continue to follow up with us and ask us questions. And that to me is the most important thing that we have. We have an accessibility, and we're not going to hound you. We're not going to call you. We're not going to send you a flyer. That's just not what we're going to do.
We're going to send you a link to our podcast.
Exactly, a link to a podcast. But understand that we are available to you at all times.
Very true.
And just reach out to us with any questions, and we'll be more than happy to help out.
Well, wishing everyone a very happy New Year.
And happy birthday to
And a happy birthday to Hav.
There's my dance.
And wherever you are at 5 o'clock today, have a drink and know that Hav was having one too.
Exactly. So thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. And again, ask us questions.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.